Welcome back to the channel, tennis fans, because something absolutely extraordinary is happening right now in the world of women's tennis. And honestly, the sport can feel it. Berlin, Germany, June 2026. The grass court season is entering its most important stretch. Wimbledon is just around the corner. The biggest names in tennis are gathering in Germany for one of the most stacked WTA 500 tournaments of the entire season. But somehow, despite the Grand Slam champions, despite the world number ones, despite a draw loaded with superstars, one player has completely taken over the conversation. Not because she was handed attention, not because the media manufactured hype around her, but because her rise has become impossible to ignore. That player is 21-year-old Filipino sensation Alex Eala. And what is happening around her right now feels bigger than tennis itself. Because this is no longer just the story of a talented young athlete climbing the rankings. This is the story of a player transforming into a global sports phenomenon in real time. The Berlin Open has always been one of the premier events of the grass court season. Every year, the tournament attracts the biggest stars in the sport, elite competitors sharpening their games before Wimbledon begins. This year is no different. The field is absolutely loaded. Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, Mira Andreeva. 9 of the world's top 10 players are expected to compete in Berlin. And as if that wasn't enough, Serena Williams stunned the tennis world by announcing her return to competition in doubles. The spotlight should have belonged entirely to those names. But instead, the atmosphere surrounding the tournament shifted the moment Alex Eala's wild card entry was confirmed. Suddenly, everything changed. Fans started flooding social media. Practice court schedules began circulating online. Clips of Eala training started going viral before she had even played a single match. The excitement surrounding her arrival became impossible to contain. And then came the moment nobody saw coming. A moment that elevated the story from a sports headline into something much larger. Because just as anticipation surrounding Alex Eala's Berlin appearance was reaching another level, Germany itself entered the conversation. On June 13, 2026, a formal statement emerged from Berlin that instantly sent shockwaves through international sports media. Germany's chancellor publicly welcomed Alex Eala to the country ahead of the Berlin Open. Let that sink in for a second. A sitting national leader publicly acknowledging a 21-year-old tennis player before a WTA tournament. Not because she was world number one. Not because she had already won multiple Grand Slams, but because her journey had become powerful enough to transcend the sport itself. The statement praised Eala's rise from the courts of Manila to one of the biggest stages in women's tennis, calling her an inspiration to young athletes around the world and welcoming her to Germany as she pursued her Wimbledon dream. And instantly, the tennis world exploded. Within minutes, screenshots of the statement were spreading across social media. Filipino fans reacted emotionally. Sports analysts paused to recognize how unusual this moment truly was. Because this kind of public recognition is typically reserved for visiting heads of state, Olympic champions, or internationally celebrated icons. Yet here was Alex Eala, still only 21 years old, receiving that level of acknowledgement from one of Europe's most influential governments. It was surreal. And for longtime supporters who had followed every step of her journey, the moment carried enormous emotional weight. Because they remembered everything. They remembered the sacrifices, the difficult years traveling on tour, the financial pressure, the losses, the doubts, the moments when very few people outside the Philippines believed this young player could eventually stand shoulder to shoulder with the best athletes in the world. Now the recognition was arriving from the highest levels of international leadership, and suddenly, what once felt impossible no longer seemed impossible at all. What makes Alex Eala's rise so remarkable is that it never happened overnight. This wasn't one viral tournament. This wasn't one lucky breakthrough. This has been years in the making. For a long time, Eala was viewed mainly as a promising junior talent, gifted, exciting, technically skilled, but still developing. People talked about her potential. People talked about what she might become someday. But over the last year, something changed. The results started matching the belief. Her confidence grew. Her physical game evolved. Her mental toughness became impossible to ignore. And suddenly, fans stopped asking whether she belonged at this level. Now they were asking how far she could go. That transformation became especially visible during this grass court season. Historically, grass is one of the hardest surfaces for young players to master. The movement is different. The bounce is unpredictable. Points are shorter. Everything happens faster. Many players spend years trying to adjust. Alex Eala adapted almost immediately, and that shocked people. Her breakthrough run in Birmingham completely changed the conversation surrounding her career. She moved across the grass with confidence. Her left-handed serve became a weapon. Her flatter ground strokes penetrated through the surface beautifully. She played with aggression, composure, and tactical maturity far beyond her age. By the end of the tournament, she wasn't just surviving on grass. She was thriving on it. And when she lifted the trophy in Birmingham, defeating experienced opponents under pressure, it felt like a turning point. Not just for her season, for her entire career. That title transformed her from a rising prospect into a genuine threat. Then came Queen's Club. Another massive opportunity. Another chance to prove Birmingham wasn't a fluke. And once again, Eala delivered moments that forced the tennis world to pay attention. Every match drew bigger crowds. Every practice session generated more buzz. Every interview attracted more media attention. People were beginning to realize that Alex Eala represented something larger than rankings and results. She had become one of the most compelling stories in all of tennis. Part of that connection comes from the way she carries herself. Fans see a player who competes fearlessly without becoming arrogant. They see humility mixed with ambition, confidence mixed with composure. Even under enormous pressure, Eala rarely looks overwhelmed by the stage around her. That quality matters, because the players who eventually change sports are usually the ones who develop belief before the rest of the world fully catches up. And right now, Alex Eala looks like someone who truly believes she belongs among the elite. That belief is becoming contagious. Everywhere she travels, support follows her. And nowhere is that more visible than among Filipino communities around the world. The Philippines has embraced Alex Eala as far more than just a tennis player. For millions of supporters, she represents possibility, representation, national pride, a reminder that Filipino athletes can compete and win on the biggest stages in international sports. Wherever she goes, the atmosphere changes. In London, in Birmingham, in Paris, now in Berlin, Filipino fans arrive carrying flags, wearing jerseys, creating energy that transforms neutral venues into something that almost feels like home. And Germany is no exception. Germany is home to one of Europe's largest Filipino communities. Thousands of Filipinos living and working across the country immediately rallied around Eala's arrival. Social media groups began organizing ticket purchases. Fans coordinated travel plans. Support sections were prepared. People wanted to create a home court atmosphere for the young star carrying the hopes of an entire nation. And honestly, that emotional connection explains why this story has become so powerful. Because Alex Eala's rise no longer belongs only to tennis. It belongs to millions of people who see parts of themselves reflected in her journey. People who understand sacrifice. People who understand perseverance. People who know what it feels like to chase impossible dreams far away from home. That emotional investment is what makes every tournament feel bigger now. Every match matters more. Every victory feels shared. Every breakthrough becomes a collective celebration. And now all of that energy is arriving in Berlin at the exact moment the spotlight surrounding Eala has never been brighter. Even within the tennis world itself, attitudes are changing rapidly. Commentators now discuss her as a legitimate threat. Analysts regularly praise her tactical development. Opponents understand that facing Alex Eala is no longer comfortable. Her left-handed patterns create difficult angles. Her movement continues improving. Her confidence on big stages keeps growing. Most importantly, she competes without fear. That mentality makes dangerous players, especially on grass. And perhaps the biggest sign of her growing influence came from one of the most respected voices in the history of the sport. German tennis legend Boris Becker. a three-time Wimbledon champion, one of the greatest grass court players ever, a man who understands pressure, expectation, and championship mentality better than almost anyone. When Becker publicly praised Alex Eala and called her the future of women's tennis, the tennis world immediately paid attention. Because Boris Becker does not hand out praise casually. He knows greatness when he sees it. And according to Becker, Eala possesses qualities that cannot be taught. Fighting spirit, mental toughness, composure under pressure, the ability to compete without backing down. That endorsement carried enormous weight. Suddenly, it wasn't only fans believing in Eala's future. Now legends of the sport were publicly acknowledging it too. And that is part of what makes Berlin feel so significant. This tournament represents more than another stop on the calendar. It feels like a transition point, a moment where a rising star begins crossing into another level of global recognition. Because when national leaders acknowledge you, when tennis legends praise you, when packed crowds gather to watch your practice sessions, when international media follows your every move, you are no longer simply a talented young player. You are becoming one of the faces of the sport. And perhaps the most incredible part of this entire story is that Alex Eala still appears grounded through all of it. Despite the headlines, despite the pressure, despite carrying the expectations of millions, she continues approaching every tournament with the same calm determination that defined her from the beginning. That mindset may ultimately become her greatest weapon, because the pressure surrounding her career is only going to increase from here. The expectations will become heavier, the spotlight brighter, the competition tougher. But if this grass court season has proven anything, it is that Alex Eala embraces challenges instead of avoiding them. The bigger the moment becomes, the more dangerous she seems to be. And now Berlin stands directly in front of her. One of the strongest tournaments of the season. One of the most important weeks before Wimbledon. A field filled with champions. An atmosphere overflowing with pressure and expectation. Exactly the kind of stage where stars reveal themselves. As the tournament prepares to begin, anticipation continues building across the tennis world. Fans are ready. The crowds are gathering. The cameras are waiting. And standing at the center of all that excitement is a 21-year-old Filipina whose journey has already inspired millions. What started as a dream has evolved into one of the most compelling stories in modern sports. Alex Eala is no longer trying to convince the world she belongs here. She already has. Now the only question remaining is just how high she can climb before the rest of tennis fully catches up to what her supporters have believed all along. Berlin may be the next chapter, but it also feels like the beginning of something even bigger. And the entire tennis world is watching.